Hello, my dear friends, and welcome. It's so wonderful to have you with us today for a conversation that I know comes from a place of deep, profound love. The love we have for our grandchildren, those precious little ones who bring so much joy into our lives. There's nothing quite like the feeling of holding a baby, is there? Their tiny fingers, their soft skin, that incredible new baby smell. And as grandparents, our natural instinct is often to shower them with affection, to cuddle them, to coo at them, and yes, to kiss them. Yes, a kiss seems like such a natural, universal expression of love and tenderness. But what if I told you that one particular kind of kiss, a kiss on the lips, could inadvertently cross into a danger zone for these fragile little beings? I want to share a story, a true story that unfortunately isn't uncommon. Imagine a loving grandmother, let's call her Mrs. Evans. She was overjoyed with the arrival of her first grandchild, a beautiful baby girl named Lily. Every time she visited, Mrs. Evans would scoop Lily up, cuddle her close, and plant sweet kisses on her cheeks, her forehead, and sometimes a quick, loving peck on her lips. She meant nothing but pure, unadulterated love. A few weeks later, little Lily developed some concerning sores around her mouth and became quite unwell. After a worrying visit to the doctor, it was discovered that Lily had contracted the Herpes Simplex virus, the virus that causes cold sores. The doctors gently explained that it was likely transmitted through a kiss from an adult who, perhaps unknowingly, was carrying the virus, even if they didn't have an active sore at the time. Mrs. Evans was heartbroken, filled with guilt, even though she had acted out of nothing but affection. This story, and many others like it, highlights a crucial point that we, as loving grandparents, need to understand. While our kisses are filled with love, kissing a baby on the lips, or even sometimes on the face, can carry real risks for their delicate health. Today we're going to explore why this seemingly innocent act can be problematic, delve into the science of a baby's developing immune system, discuss the dangerous molecules or germs that can be transmitted, and most importantly, talk about wonderful, safe ways we can continue to shower our grandbabies with all the love in our hearts. This isn't about instilling fear, but about arming ourselves with knowledge to protect these little treasures we cherish so dearly. To truly understand why we need to be so cautious about kissing babies, especially on the lips or near their mouth and eyes, we first need to appreciate just how different a baby's immune system is from ours. Imagine their immune system as a brand new, still under construction fortress. It's there. It has the plans for defense, but many of the walls are still being built, the soldiers are still in training, and the alarm systems aren't fully operational yet. When a baby is born, they receive some passive immunity from their mother, primarily through antibodies passed across the placenta during pregnancy, and if breastfed, through breast milk. This initial protection is wonderful, but it's temporary and only covers certain types of infections that the mother herself has been exposed to or vaccinated against. The baby's own immune system, the active, self-generating defense mechanism, is still very immature and takes time, months, even years, to fully develop and mature. They haven't had the chance yet to encounter the wide array of viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens that we adults have been exposed to throughout our lives, against which we've built up immunity. Think about it. Every time we catch a cold or fight off an infection, our immune system learns and creates memory cells that help it recognize and fight off that specific invader more quickly and effectively next time. Babies simply haven't had this lifetime of experience and learning. Their immune cells are still naive. This means that when they encounter a new germ, their body's response might be slower, less effective, and sometimes the illness can be much more severe than it would be in an older child or an adult. Their little bodies are working incredibly hard to grow and develop, and their immune system is doing its best, but it's easily overwhelmed. This inherent vulnerability, this delicate and still developing defense system, is the key reason why we must be extra vigilant about preventing the transmission of germs to them. A simple cold for us could be a serious respiratory infection for a baby. A mild virus we barely notice could cause significant illness in their tiny, still learning bodies. Understanding this fragility is the first step in protecting them. Now that we appreciate the vulnerability of a baby's immune system, let's talk about some of the specific, dangerous molecules, the viruses, bacteria, and other pathogens that can be lurking in an adult's saliva or on their skin, even if the adult feels perfectly healthy, and can be transmitted through a kiss, particularly a kiss on the lips or face. One of the most well-known and concerning is the herpes simplex virus type 1, or HSV1. This is the virus that commonly causes cold sores or fever blisters around the mouth. Many adults carry HSV1, often having contracted it in childhood. The tricky thing is, the virus can be shed and transmitted even when there isn't an active, visible cold sore. For an adult, a cold sore is usually a minor, albeit annoying, nuisance. But for a newborn or a young infant, HSV1 infection can be devastating, leading to a condition called neonatal herpes. This can cause serious illness affecting the skin, eyes, mouth, and in severe cases, the brain and other organs, potentially leading to long-term neurological problems or even being life-threatening. This is why doctors are so adamant that anyone with an active cold sore should absolutely avoid kissing a baby anywhere, and even those with a history of cold sores should be extremely cautious about kissing a baby on or near the mouth. Then there are common respiratory viruses, like the influenza virus, flu, or respiratory syncytial virus, RSV. For an adult, the flu might mean a few days of feeling unwell. But for a baby, especially one under 6 months old or one with underlying health conditions, RSV and influenza can lead to severe respiratory distress, pneumonia, bronchiolitis, and hospitalization. These viruses are easily spread through saliva and respiratory droplets, and a kiss places those droplets right where a baby can inhale them or get them into their mouth. Even the common cold viruses, while generally less severe, can make a baby quite miserable, and sometimes lead to complications like ear infections. We also need to consider bacteria. One that often comes up in discussions about oral transmission is Helicobacter pylori, H. pylori. This is a bacterium that can infect the stomach and is a major cause of gastritis and stomach ulcers in adults. It's often acquired in childhood and can be transmitted through saliva. While the immediate impact on a baby might not always be obvious, early infection could potentially set the stage for problems later in life. Other bacteria that cause strep throat or even more serious infections like whooping cough, pertussis, can also be transmitted through close facial contact and saliva. While vaccination helps protect against some of these, a baby's vaccine schedule is still in progress in their early months, leaving them vulnerable. It's a sobering thought that a simple kiss, intended with love, could unknowingly pass on one of these unwelcome invaders to a defenseless little one. As grandparents, our hearts are filled with an immense, almost overwhelming love for our grandchildren. We want to cuddle them, protect them, and shower them with affection. For many of us, kissing is a deeply ingrained way of expressing that love, a tradition passed down through generations. We might remember our own parents or grandparents kissing us as children, and it felt warm, comforting, and reassuring. So, when we hear modern advice about not kissing babies on the lips, it can sometimes feel a bit like a clash, a collision between these deeply held traditional expressions of love and what contemporary science and pediatric advice tell us. This isn't to say that traditional ways of showing love are wrong or invalid. The love, the intention, the desire to bond, those are all beautiful and vital. However, our understanding of health, hygiene, and infant physiology has evolved significantly over the decades. What might have been common practice in the past, without full awareness of the potential risks, is now viewed differently through the lens of modern medical knowledge. We now understand so much more about how viruses and bacteria are transmitted, and about the unique vulnerabilities of an infant's developing immune system. The conflict can sometimes arise because, as grandparents, we might feel that being told not to kiss our grandchild on the lips is somehow questioning our love or implying we are a danger. It can feel a bit hurtful or overly cautious, especially if we think, well, I kissed my own children on the lips and they turned out fine, and that may well be true. Many babies who were kissed on the lips did not suffer adverse consequences. However, the issue is about minimizing risk. Just because something didn't cause a problem in one instance doesn't mean it's without risk in all instances. It's like seatbelts in cars. Many people drove for years without them and were fine, but we now know that using them dramatically reduces the risk of serious injury or death in an accident. It's about taking a preventative approach based on the best available knowledge to protect those who are most vulnerable. So, the challenge for us as loving grandparents is to bridge this gap, to honor our deep desire to express affection while also embracing the scientific understanding that helps us do so in the safest possible way. It's not about loving less, it's about loving wisely, with an informed heart. It's about adapting our expressions of love to ensure they are purely beneficial and carry no unintended harm. The wonderful news, dear friends, is that there are countless beautiful, meaningful, and completely safe ways to express our boundless love for our grandbabies, ways that don't involve kissing them on the lips and still allow for that precious bonding and connection. Our love is vast, and so are the ways we can show it. Hugs and cuddles are fantastic. Holding your grandchild close, feeling their warmth against you, letting them hear your heartbeat. These are incredibly powerful ways to bond and make them feel secure and loved. Gentle rocking, swaying, and snuggling are all wonderful. Light, gentle touches are also lovely. You can softly stroke their hair, their back, or their tiny hands and feet. A gentle pat on the back, a soft nuzzle on the top of their head, avoiding the fontanelle or soft spot in very young babies, of course, and ensuring your face is clean and free of any sores. Or even just holding their hand can convey so much warmth and affection. Kisses can still be part of the picture, but it's about where you place them. Instead of the lips or face, consider a soft kiss on the top of their head, on their little feet, or even on their tummy when they're a bit older and you're playing. Always ensure your lips are clean, and you don't have any signs of a cold sore or other illness. If you have any doubt at all, it's best to refrain from facial kisses altogether. Speaking and singing to your baby are also powerful ways to show love and stimulate their development. Let them hear your gentle voice, sing them lullabies, tell them stories. Your voice is a sound of comfort and love to them. Making eye contact, smiling, and engaging in playful interactions like peekaboo also build strong bonds. And critically, beyond the specific acts of affection, there are some essential hygiene practices that we, as grandparents, and indeed anyone interacting with a baby, must always observe. First and foremost, wash your hands thoroughly with soap and water before holding or touching the baby every single time. This is one of the most effective ways to prevent the spread of germs. If soap and water aren't immediately available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Maintain your own health. If you are feeling unwell, if you have a cold, a cough, a fever, a sore throat, an active cold sore, or any other signs of illness, it is absolutely crucial to avoid close contact with the baby, including holding and kissing, until you are fully recovered. It might be hard to stay away when you're longing for a cuddle, but it's the most loving thing you can do in that situation to protect their health. Ensure your own vaccinations are up to date, especially for illnesses like influenza, the flu, and pertussis, whooping cough. This not only protects your health, but also creates a safer environment for the baby, especially before they are old enough to be fully vaccinated themselves. This concept is sometimes called cocooning, protecting the baby by ensuring those around them are immunized. By embracing these safe and loving ways to interact, and by being diligent about hygiene, we can shower our grandchildren with all the affection they deserve while keeping them safe and healthy. Our love can be expressed in a multitude of beautiful ways that nurture and protect. So, as we draw our heartfelt conversation to a close, let's remember the core message. Protecting our precious grandchildren, especially in their earliest, most vulnerable months, sometimes means adjusting our most natural expressions of love, like a kiss on the lips. It's not about diminishing our affection in any way. It's about channeling that immense love into actions that are unequivocally safe and nurturing. We've explored why a baby's immune system is like a delicate, still developing fortress, making them highly susceptible to germs that might be harmless to us. We've discussed some of the specific dangerous molecules, viruses like Herpes Simplex, Influenza and RSV, and bacteria like H. pylori that can be transmitted through saliva and close contact, potentially causing serious illness in infants. We've also acknowledged the understandable tension between traditional ways of showing affection and modern scientific understanding, emphasizing that this is about loving wisely, not loving less. And most importantly, we've celebrated the many wonderful and safe ways we can express our deep love for our grandchildren through warm hugs and cuddles, gentle touches, soft kisses on their heads, or tiny feet, through our soothing voices as we speak and sing to them, and through playful engagement. We've also underscored the absolute necessity of impeccable hygiene, washing our hands diligently and staying away if we are unwell, as fundamental acts of love and protection. The journey of grandparenthood is one of immense joy, profound connection, and also a deep sense of responsibility. Part of that responsibility is to stay informed and to adapt our practices to ensure the well-being of these little ones who depend on us. Choosing not to kiss your grandchild on the lips is not a rejection. It is a profound act of protection, a testament to your informed love. Let's all commit to being a safe haven for our grandchildren, a source of boundless, healthy affection. Let's cherish every coo, every smile, every tiny hand that grasps ours, and let's express our love in ways that help them thrive, strong and healthy, from their very first days. Our love is a powerful, beautiful force. Let's ensure it always nurtures and never inadvertently harms. Thank you so much for joining me in this important conversation. May your days with your grandchildren be filled with joy, laughter, and safe, loving cuddles.